Discover which seemingly healthy fruits may actually be sabotaging your results. You wake up every morning with the best intentions. Slice up that fresh fruit thinking you're making the healthiest choice in the world. But when you step on the scale at the end of the week, the disappointment is always the same. You look in the mirror and notice your belly is still bloated, even though you're following all the healthy eating recommendations you can find. And then comes the big question: why? Even when I eat fruit, drink water, and try to eat well, does my body not respond? The answer may lie exactly in those fruits you consider your biggest allies in weight loss. After years of following thousands of people on their transformation journeys, I discovered something that could completely revolutionize your results. There are 7 specific fruits that, no matter how nutritious they are, may actually be slowing down your metabolism, causing water retention, and keeping your belly bloated. And the most shocking part is that the 7th fruit on this list is consumed daily by 90% of people trying to lose weight, without realizing it might be the biggest obstacle between them and the body of their dreams. In today's video, I'll reveal not only which are these 7 sneaky fruits, but also explain exactly why they have this effect on your body, and, even more importantly, which fruits you should eat instead to finally see your belly flatten and the numbers on the scale move in the right direction. Stay tuned until the end, because I'll be sharing a simple 3-day protocol to help you detox your body from these problematic fruits and accelerate your weight loss in a natural and sustainable way. Before diving into these revelations that could completely change your relationship with fruit, I want to pause here and connect with you on a more personal level. Tell me in the comments where you're watching from and what your biggest struggle with weight loss is. Is it the bloated belly that never seems to go away? Those stubborn extra pounds that won't budge no matter what? Or maybe it's that feeling that everything you eat somehow turns into fat. Share your experience, because your honesty can help thousands of other people who are going through the same thing. And while you're at it, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, because every week I bring you insights like these that might be the key to finally unlocking your weight loss. Now, let's get to the fruits you need to avoid if you want to see real results. A few years ago, I was helping a patient named Marina, a 42-year-old teacher who had tried everything to lose weight. She came to me desperate, saying she followed all the healthy eating recommendations she found online, ate fruit every day, drank plenty of water, but the scale just wouldn't move. Even worse, she said her belly was always bloated, especially after meals, and that she felt constantly fatigued despite sleeping well. During our conversation, I discovered that Marina was drinking a glass of orange juice every morning, eating 2 ripe bananas as a snack, grapes in the afternoon, and a generous slice of watermelon as dessert at dinner. She was consuming more than 100 grams of sugar just from fruit, not counting other foods. When I explained the impact that this natural sugar was having on her metabolism, she was shocked. Marina's transformation was incredible. In just 2 weeks of eliminating those specific fruits and replacing them with more suitable options, she lost 7.7 pounds. Her belly completely deflated and her energy came back. But most importantly, she realized the problem wasn't the amount of food she was eating, but the type of sugar that was overloading her system. And you know what's even more surprising? Marina wasn't an isolated case. I've helped more than 2,500 people who went through the same situation, all eating fruit thinking they were doing everything right, but unknowingly sabotaging their own results. Let's get to the first fruit you need to avoid. But before that, make sure you're already subscribed to the channel, because the next weight loss videos will be super important for your transformation, and I promise you're going to love them. The first fruit that may be sabotaging your results is grapes. Yes, those sweet little grapes that seem so harmless can actually be a sugar bomb disguised as a healthy snack. A single cup of grapes contains approximately 23 grams of natural sugar, which equals nearly 6 teaspoons of sugar. When you consume that amount of fructose all at once, your liver becomes overloaded trying to process all that sugar, and what it can't immediately use for energy ends up being converted into fat. But the problem with grapes goes beyond the high sugar content. They have a relatively high glycemic index for a fruit, which means they cause quick spikes in your blood sugar levels. These spikes are followed by sharp drops, creating a vicious cycle of hunger, sugar cravings, and fat accumulation, especially in the abdominal area. In addition, grapes are extremely easy to eat in large quantities. How many times have you started eating just a few grapes and ended up devouring an entire bunch without even noticing? That happens because the sugar in grapes doesn't promote the same satiety as other foods, leaving you wanting to eat more and more. To make things worse, grapes also contain compounds that can cause fermentation in the intestines when consumed in excess, leading to gas, abdominal bloating, and digestive discomfort. If you're one of those people who love grapes, the tip is to replace them with berries like strawberries, raspberries, or blueberries. These fruits have much less sugar, more fiber, and powerful antioxidants that really support weight loss. The ideal portion would be half a cup per day, preferably consumed along with a source of protein or healthy fat to reduce the glycemic impact. And here's a valuable tip that few nutritionists share. If you really can't resist grapes, there's a specific strategy to minimize the damage. Freeze the grapes for at least 2 hours before consuming. The cold lowers the perception of sweetness, making you eat more slowly and in smaller amounts. Moreover, the freezing process slightly alters the sugar structure, making absorption a bit slower. But remember, this isn't a license to eat grapes freely. It's just a harm reduction strategy for specific situations. The second fruit you should avoid if you want to lose weight is mango. I know this might hurt a lot of people, especially here in Brazil where mango is practically a national passion. But the truth is that a medium mango contains about 45 grams of sugar, almost twice the recommended daily amount for someone trying to lose weight. The problem with mango isn't just the astronomical amount of sugar, but also the way this sugar is absorbed by your body. Mango has a creamy and sweet texture that makes you eat it quickly, sending a flood of fructose directly to your liver. When that happens, your body stops burning fat and goes immediately into storage mode. It's like you're telling your metabolism, look, there's sugar to spare here. You can stop using fat reserves. Furthermore, mango is extremely high in calories for a fruit. A large mango can have up to 200 calories, the equivalent of 2 slices of whole wheat bread. If you're trying to create a calorie deficit to lose weight, eating mango regularly can easily sabotage your efforts. Another important point is that mango, especially when very ripe, can cause significant insulin spikes. Insulin is known as the fat storage hormone, and the more spikes you have throughout the day, the harder it becomes for your body to access and burn existing fat reserves. For many people, mango can also cause digestive problems like bloating and gas, especially when eaten with other foods. That happens because the high sugar content can feed undesirable gut bacteria, causing excessive fermentation. If you really can't live without mango, the strategy is to eat only a quarter of a small mango, at most once a week, and always after an intense workout when your muscles are more receptive to absorbing the sugar. A much better alternative would be papaya, which has less sugar, more fiber, and digestive enzymes that actually help with weight loss. Speaking of papaya, let me share a secret I learned from a nutritionist who specializes in Ayurvedic medicine. Papaya consumed with a pinch of cayenne pepper enhances its thermogenic properties. That is, it makes your body spend more energy to digest the food. The papain enzyme present in papaya, when combined with the capsaicin in the pepper, creates a synergistic effect that can boost your metabolism for up to 3 hours after consumption. Try half a small papaya with a pinch of cayenne pepper as your morning snack and notice the difference in your energy levels. The third fruit that may be preventing your weight loss is ripe banana. Now, before you think I'm against all the delicious fruits in the world, let me explain. It's not that banana is inherently bad, but the type of banana and the timing you choose to eat it can make all the difference. Very ripe banana, the one with brown spots on the peel that many people prefer for its sweetness, is practically pure sugar disguised as fruit. As the banana ripens, the starch turns into simple sugar, making a fully ripe banana have nearly 25 grams of sugar and a glycemic index that can reach 60, similar to some processed sweets. When you eat a very ripe banana, especially on an empty stomach in the morning like many people do, you are creating a glycemic roller coaster in your body. First comes the energy spike followed by a sudden drop, leaving you more tired and hungrier than before. This constant variation in blood sugar levels not only harms your focus and energy, but also makes it much harder for your body to burn fat efficiently. Moreover, Ripe banana is extremely easy to digest, which may seem like an advantage, but actually means it doesn't provide long-lasting satiety. You can eat a large banana and feel hungry again in less than an hour. To make things worse, many people have the habit of eating banana with other carbohydrates like oats or granola, creating a sugar bomb that practically guarantees fat storage. Timing is also crucial. Eating banana at the end of the day or at night is especially problematic because your metabolism is slower and your body is more likely to convert the sugar into fat. If you can't live without banana, go for green or firm yellow bananas, which have more resistant starch and less sugar. Eat at most half of a small banana, preferably before or after physical exercise, and always with a protein or healthy fat like natural peanut butter or unsweetened Greek yogurt. The fourth fruit on the list of weight loss villains is pineapple. Shall we move on to the next fruit? But first, it seems like you haven't hit the like button on this video yet. That's very important for YouTube to keep showing these insights that can transform your health. I know this goes against everything you've ever heard about pineapple being a fat-burning fruit, but the scientific truth is very different from what marketing has made us believe. Pineapple is extremely high in sugar, with a medium slice containing about 16 grams of sugar and having a surprisingly high glycemic index for a fruit. The myth that pineapple burns fat comes from bromelain, an enzyme found in the fruit that does help with protein digestion but has no proven effect on burning body fat. In fact, the high sugar content in pineapple can have the exact opposite effect. When you eat pineapple, especially in large amounts like many people do because it's refreshing and tasty, you're flooding your system with fructose. And here's a fact that few people know. The liver can only process a limited amount of fructose at a time, about 25 to 50 grams per day, depending on the person. When you exceed this limit, the excess is directly converted into fat through a process called lipogenesis. Pineapple is also problematic because it's very acidic, which can cause stomach irritation and digestive issues in sensitive individuals. This acidity, combined with the high sugar content, can create an environment that favors yeast overgrowth in the gut, leading to bloating, gas, and abdominal discomfort. Furthermore, pineapple has a dangerous trait. It's addictive. The natural sugar combined with the acidity creates an intense flavor that activates reward centers in the brain, making you want more and more. Many people who claim to eat pineapple to lose weight end up consuming excessive amounts without realizing it. If you really want to include pineapple in your diet, the strategy is to consume no more than 2 small cubes per day, preferably after a workout when your muscles can better absorb the sugar. A much better option would be kiwi, which has less sugar, more fiber, and abundant vitamin C, along with natural digestive enzymes that truly aid digestion without causing glycemic spikes. Speaking of kiwi, here's a trick few people know. Eat the kiwi with the skin. That's right. Kiwi skin is completely edible and triples the fiber content of the fruit. Wash it well, gently rub to remove the rough hairs, and eat it all. The texture may seem strange at first, but you'll get used to it quickly. The skin of the kiwi contains powerful flavonoids that enhance fat burning and improve vitamin C absorption. Plus, the extra fiber in the skin creates a feeling of fullness that lasts for hours. The fifth fruit that may be sabotaging your weight loss is watermelon. Yes, I know watermelon is considered a hydrating, low-calorie fruit, but there's a dark side no one tells you about. While watermelon is indeed rich in water, it also has an extremely high glycemic index, reaching 72, which is almost the same as some processed sweets. This means that even a small portion of watermelon can cause significant spikes in your blood sugar levels. The problem with watermelon is that it's deceptively easy to eat in large quantities. A medium slice of watermelon contains about 18 grams of sugar, but because it's refreshing and tastes watery, you can easily eat 2, 3, or even 4 slices without noticing, consuming an absurd amount of sugar all at once. Moreover, watermelon is practically devoid of fiber, protein, or fats that could slow sugar absorption. It's like drinking a sugary juice with a bit of water. When you eat watermelon, especially on an empty stomach, all that sugar quickly enters your bloodstream, forcing your pancreas to release large amounts of insulin to control your blood sugar. And the more insulin circulating in your body, the harder it is for your body to burn fat. Watermelon can also be problematic for people with sensitive intestines. Its high sugar content can feed undesirable bacteria and yeasts in the gut, causing bloating, gas, and sluggish digestion. For some people, watermelon can also have an excessive diuretic effect, causing loss of important electrolytes and paradoxically leaving you dehydrated. Another important point is timing. Watermelon is often eaten as dessert or a late-night snack, exactly when your metabolism is slower and your insulin sensitivity is reduced. This practically guarantees that all that sugar will be stored as fat. If you can't resist watermelon, especially in the summer, limit yourself to a small cube the size of a matchbox, no more than twice a week, and always after physical activity. A much better alternative would be cucumber with lemon, which offers the same refreshing feeling without the sugar tsunami. The sixth fruit you should avoid if you want to see real results is the very ripe pear. Pears are often recommended for diets because they are rich in fiber, but when they are very ripe, they become a metabolic trap in disguise. A medium-ripe pear contains about 25 grams of sugar, and as it ripens, the texture becomes softer precisely because the fibers are breaking down and the starch is turning into simple sugar. This means that a very ripe pear has much less useful fiber and much more free sugar than you might think. The problem is that many people prefer very ripe pears because they are sweeter and easier to chew without realizing they're consuming what is essentially liquid sugar with a bit of pulp. When you eat a very ripe pear, especially those that are already soft, the sugar is absorbed very quickly, causing the same glycemic spikes as other problematic fruits. The ripe pear is also tricky because it has a mild flavor that doesn't taste overly sweet, making you underestimate the amount of sugar you're consuming. Additionally, the soft texture means you chew less, which results in less satiety and a higher tendency to eat something else soon after. For people with sensitive guts, ripe pear can cause excessive fermentation, leading to gas and abdominal bloating. That happens because the free sugar feeds undesirable bacteria in the gut, creating a dysbiotic environment that can even affect the absorption of important nutrients. Pears also contain sorbitol, a type of sugar that many people have trouble digesting, especially when consumed in large amounts. Sorbitol can cause not only digestive problems, but also water retention, making you feel bloated and heavy. If you like pears, go for firm and slightly green ones, which have more intact fiber and less free sugar. Consume no more than half a small pear per day, always with the skin to get the most fiber and preferably accompanied by a source of protein such as almonds or Brazil nuts. Here's a simple test to know if a pear is at the ideal point for consumption. Gently press the fruit near the stem. If it gives way easily, it's too ripe and has too much free sugar. The ideal pear should be firm, with a slightly greenish hue at the base. Another trick is to eat grated pear with cinnamon powder. Cinnamon helps regulate blood sugar levels and enhances the feeling of fullness. 2 tablespoons of grated pear with a pinch of cinnamon can be an excellent addition to plain Greek yogurt for your afternoon snack. And now we come to the 7th and most surprising fruit on this list, the orange. That's right, the orange, which is consumed daily by millions of people who believe they're making a healthy choice, could actually be one of the biggest obstacles to your weight loss. A medium orange contains approximately 17 grams of sugar, but the problem isn't just the amount, it's how most people consume oranges. How many times have you had a glass of orange juice thinking you were making a healthy choice? A glass of natural orange juice contains the sugar from 4 to 6 oranges, but without the fiber that would help slow down absorption. It's like drinking a natural soda. But even when eaten whole, orange can be problematic for those trying to lose weight. First, because it has a moderate to high glycemic index, especially when very ripe and sweet. Second, because people tend to consume oranges in excessive amounts, especially at breakfast, creating a sugar spike early in the day that can compromise your metabolism for the rest of the day. Orange is also extremely acidic, which can cause digestive problems and reflux in sensitive individuals. This acidity, combined with sugar, creates an environment in the stomach that can impair the digestion of other foods and cause abdominal discomfort. Furthermore, many people have the habit of eating orange on an empty stomach, especially in the morning, which maximizes the rapid absorption of sugar and can cause reactive hypoglycemia a few hours later, leading to intense hunger and sugar cravings. For people suffering from candidiasis or gut dysbiosis, orange can feed these unwanted microorganisms, perpetuating problems such as bloating, gas, and slow digestion. Orange can also interfere with the absorption of some medications and supplements, especially when consumed in large quantities. If you really need to eat orange, do so in strict moderation. No more than half a small orange, twice a week, always after a meal that contains proteins and healthy fats. A much better option would be lemon, which has much less sugar, alkalizing properties, and can truly help with digestion and weight loss when consumed properly. And since we're talking about lemon, let me share a powerful strategy I use with my students: strategic lemon water. It's not the usual lemon water everyone talks about. It's a specific protocol. Upon waking, on an empty stomach, drink 200 milliliters of warm water with the juice of half a lemon and a pinch of pink salt. Wait 30 minutes before eating anything. This protocol helps balance your body's pH, stimulates digestive enzyme production, and prepares your metabolism to burn fat. But attention, use a straw to protect your tooth enamel, and always use warm water, never cold, so you don't shock your digestive system as it's waking up. Now, I need to share something with you that I discovered recently, and that may explain why so many people struggle to lose weight even when following seemingly healthy diets. There is a phenomenon called leptin resistance that is directly related to excessive fructose consumption. Leptin is the satiety hormone, the one that should signal your brain when you've eaten enough. When you consume too much sugar, including sugar from fruit, your body develops resistance to this hormone, making you feel hungry even when you should already be full. This explains why many people who eat too much fruit report that they never feel truly satisfied and always crave something else, especially sweets. The good news is that this resistance can be reversed. Studies show that by reducing fructose intake to less than 25 grams per day and increasing protein and healthy fat intake, leptin sensitivity can be restored in 2 to 4 weeks. And here's a protocol I've developed specifically to restore leptin sensitivity. For 14 days, completely eliminate all the fruits mentioned in this video. Limit other fruits to just one small portion of berries per day. Increase your protein intake to at least 1 gram per kilogram of body weight, and include healthy fats in every meal. Many of my students report that after these 2 weeks, their sugar cravings drop drastically, and they finally feel real satiety after meals. Now that you know these 7 fruits that may be sabotaging your results, it's important to understand that the problem doesn't lie in the fruits themselves, but in the quantity, timing, and the way you consume them. The key to effective weight loss is to choose fruits with lower sugar content, higher fiber, and consume them at the right times and in the right portions. The best fruits for those trying to lose weight are berries like strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries, which are rich in antioxidants and have a low glycemic impact. Avocado, though many don't consider it a fruit, is excellent for weight loss because it's rich in healthy fats and fiber. Fresh coconut is also a great option, as well as green apples with skin and kiwis. The golden rule is, if you're trying to lose weight, go for fruits that you can eat slowly, that have edible skin or seeds, and that aren't overly sweet. Avoid juices of any kind, even natural ones, and always eat fruits alongside proteins or healthy fats to reduce the glycemic impact. Timing is also crucial. The best times to eat fruits are before or after exercise, when your muscles are more receptive to absorbing sugar. Avoid fruits at night and never eat them as dessert after heavy meals. And here's a piece of information that will revolutionize the way you think about fruit. There's a specific metabolic window when fruit consumption can actually accelerate weight loss. This window occurs during the first 30 minutes after an intense strength or cardio workout. During this period, your muscles are like sponges, thirsty for glucose to replenish the muscle glycogen used during exercise. That's when a small portion of fruit can be beneficial, directing the sugar to the muscles instead of fat tissue. But note, we're talking about a maximum of 15 to 20 grams of fruit sugar, which is the equivalent of half a small apple or 1 medium kiwi. And this strategy only works if you've really worked out intensely in the previous 30 minutes. To help you implement these changes practically, I want to share a simple 3-day protocol that will detox your body from these problematic fruits and speed up your weight loss. So, did you already know these fruits could be sabotaging your weight loss? Which of these 7 fruits do you eat most often? Let me know in the comments if you've gone through that experience of eating fruit, thinking you were doing everything right, but not seeing any results on the scale. Or if you know someone who's gone through something similar, I'll be there in the comments to help. On the first day, completely eliminate all 7 fruits I mentioned and replace them with half a cup of mixed berries at breakfast, accompanied by 2 tablespoons of plain Greek yogurt. For the afternoon snack, eat a small kiwi with 5 almonds. On the second day, keep the same substitutions and add a quarter of a mashed avocado with lemon and a pinch of salt at lunch. On the third day, in addition to the allowed fruits, include 1 small green apple with skin in the mid-morning, but always chew very slowly, and accompany it with 1 teaspoon of natural peanut butter. During these 3 days, drink at least 2 liters of water, avoid all types of juice, and observe how your body responds. Many people report a significant reduction in abdominal bloating, more stable energy throughout the day, and less sugar craving in just the first few days of following this protocol. After the 3 days, you can reintroduce some of the mentioned fruits, but always in moderation and following the guidelines I've shared regarding portion size and timing. And now I have a special challenge for you. I want you to try this 3-day protocol and come back to the comments to tell me your results. Write Day 1 complete, Day 2 complete, and Day 3 complete as you go through the protocol. At the end of the 3 days, let me know what was the biggest change you felt in your body. Was it less bloating, more energy, less sugar craving? I'll be there replying to every comment and celebrating every win with you. If you made it this far, I know you're truly committed to your health and your transformation, and it's exactly for determined people like you that I create this content every week. If you related to the struggles I mentioned and you're excited to try out these changes, don't miss the upcoming videos. Click the subscribe button now and turn on the notification bell. See you in the next video.